Hello, this is episode 1 of my new series that is just anime reviews and manga reviews, I suppose. Now, you will know which series I am reviewing through the bigger picture as you can see here, and what I will be reviewing next through the picture here. Now, I will be going through the series through a list of priority, meaning I believe that the setting is the most important, so I will cover that first. The plot is next, as that is what we are all watching for. I mean, if you're looking just looking for fan service, then you're better off looking for porn. Third is music, as that allows for the proper mood of the setting or scene, and how much I like or dislike the opening or ending themes. Now, the last but not least is the characters. Although yes, we all have our favorite characters in the anime, but however, the development is done through the plot. Thus is why I will be covering that series last. Not series. I'll be covering that aspect last. Then ending the series, I will not sending series. Ending the episode. I'll be rating how much I like that anime out of a score of 100. Now, the bigger numbers will be of of how much I like it. Lower numbers means I dislike it. Now, before I start reviewing, let me clearly state that everything I base is off of my opinion. If you disagree, I respect your opinion. But if you disagree with me to a great extent, please be civil about it in the comment sections. Now, as you can tell, if you cannot tell from the picture, my first episode will be about Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's. Now, this is the third series of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise. For those of you who are fans of the series, some of you will think this is either the best or second best of the series. For me, it's tied first with the first series. Now, on to the setting and premise. The setting is basically set in Neo Domino City, where there's a great separation in the lower class and middle class, middle to upper class. Okay, so the plot follows Yusei Fudo, a resident of the slums who travels to Neo Domino City in order to reclaim his Stardust Dragon card. Now remember, this is the third series of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise, so the card game plays a large role. So that card is worth going through security. Now, as the plot goes on, we see that Yusei develops his ability, i.e. his signer abilities, and is supposed to battle with the Dark Signers. Honestly, at this point, I would expect the series to end as usually it was already established that the Signers exist to combat the Dark Signers. But then this brings in the WRGP arc. It was pretty exciting to see, but however, the transition between the two arcs, honestly, I feel like it was filler arcs. The only part I liked was the development between Aki and Yusei. I'll admit I like that couple. But one thing I'm disappointed is that how they didn't explain the fifth and sixth Signer Dragon until the final arc. I mean, sure, Crow becoming Signer is pretty cool, but he didn't battle with the Signer Dragon. And Leo didn't receive his own Signer Dragon until the series was already almost done. And after the gang won the WRGP, all of a sudden the story is placed in the arc Cradle Story arc, which is the last one. Here we go from the first arc. We have extremely long filler arc, kind of like a transition. In the second transition, isn't even one episode long. Now we're in the third story arc and the arc Cradle story arc. I have to say the plot is somewhat interesting. But however, they introduce a zone. I mean, seriously, he's Yusei from the future, but all of a sudden, they say he turned himself into Yusei by doing cosmetic surgery on him through medicines through machines to make him look like Yusei, and then installed some sort of computer board thing on his face to make him think like Yusei. I'm sorry, that's just one of the few things I dislike about this series. Hell, it would have been more interesting to say he was like a clone of Yusei, and so that way he's technically Yusei on the genetic level. Thus he will be the same. And in the end, Yusei managed to save the city a second time, and everyone can move on with their life. Their signer marks are then removed. Yusei becomes a researcher. Crow and Jack goes on to the pro dueling circuit. Rua and Ruka leaves to live with their parents, and Aki becomes a doctor. Now this is the part I didn't like in the anime. In the past three series, not a single one of the protagonists has gotten any action with the main heroines. you expect that Yusei and Aki would have at least kissed, but let's move on to the characters. Or, no, to the music, I mean. For the music, I would say a good majority of the songs they use in this anime were pretty good. I liked a lot of the opening scenes, which seems to reflect the racing nature of the series. The ending themes were good as well. As for intro music, they did seem to do a good job in setting the mood. My favorite song is Clear Mind by Endo Misaki, as every time when Yusei would summon Shooting Star Dragon, that song will make it seem much more epic. And now the characters. We have our basic six: Yusei, Jack, Crow, Aki, Rua, and Ruka. We have the supporting cast, but there are so many that I won't go through it. Okay, now for Yusei, I like how calm he is. I mean, he's obviously the leader, and also he wins through his skill and not through his strength. Now Jack, I kind of dislike. I mean, not because he was a dick and stole Yusei's card, but he's like a standard character for the rival. You know, he was initially antagonistic, but then turned a new leaf and started helping out the protagonist. And I say that part is fine, but his attitude when he calms down is just too much of a comic relief, I say. He has no sense of money. He has no other skills aside from dueling. I mean, seriously, even Crow contributes more to the group by having a part-time job. Yusei is obviously the mechanic of the group, and even stated in the anime that he was trying his best to conserve parts. Now, Aki I like a lot, even developed a bit of a crush on her. But I have to say, her tragic past appeals to me a lot. How she changes after meeting Yusei and her interactions with him. I especially liked episode 75 with Yusei's and Aki's date. Now the twins, they're adorable as how they looked up Yusei like a big brother figure, but how they weren't the main battlers. I mean, all the duels that Lua participated in didn't exactly work out or contribute to her strength. I mean, all of her duels all of her duels so far were either the result of tagging with her brothers, and the only duel we've seen her on her own was with that psychologist guy back in season 1 that ended in a draw. Now, for my rating, now, since there's a lot of elements to consider, I already stated that I won't be grading out of 100, out of 10. I'll be grading for out of 100. I have to say, overall, seeing it's my favorite series of Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise, I have to say I have to give the score at least 80, but at most 90. Reason why I didn't give a full 100 is because of the whole zone part and how the relationship between the main character and the main heroine didn't exactly develop. Now, this is 43091, and this is basically the end of episode 1. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and as I already said at the beginning of the episode, my next episode will be about Excel World. Now, if this goes well, I'll be continuing this series for a while, and I hope you enjoy this. So, this is 43091 signing out, and I hope you have a nice day.